All right, my dear soul friend, this episode is for you. If you would like to learn how to channel, like legit learn how to channel yourself, you're going to see something very special. I'm not going to give it away. I wouldn't do that. But we flipped the script a little bit in this one. So you got to tune in. You're also going to get some major questions answered, some major questions from Judah, the beautiful consciousness that Anjie channels herself. So I'll leave it there. I hope you love and come back to this conversation and share with me, share with Anjie your experience calling in and channeling higher consciousness, your higher self, the divine. Lots of love always. Welcome, you, soul friend. I I know I say this often, but let me explain something to you. This conversation today is one that I am so excited, so thrilled to share with you. Our guest today is just a powerful, beautiful soul. She's a channel. I'm going to share with you a little bit about Anjie. And I just invite you, as always, to just come open-hearted, open-minded, let it flow, let it glow. Just sit back and connect in. Your higher self, your you is already here. I can feel that. We can feel that. And just inviting you to really soak this in. So it's a very special conversation. I'm so excited. We have today Anjie Hipple. Anjie is a highly engaging, inspirational speaker with 30 plus years of experience as a women's group leader and recording artist. It is her honor now. She is the channel of Judah. She's also considered the Oprah of the Cosmos. Oh my gosh, I love that. Who invites in a veritable A-list of high dimensional beings such as Archangel Michael to join in the conversation about human enlightenment, awakening your power, and spiritual wisdom from beyond. And what is going to be so special about today is I've spoken with Anjie. We are going to be calling in Judah and getting to connect with this collective consciousness, ask questions. And I've already asked if you have a question, I've asked for that to come through me so that it's me and you. We are going to be interviewing Anjie all together. That's what I'm hearing as a collective. And Judah. And Anjie, thank you. I just already love you and love your energy. And I'm so honored to have you here today.
Oh, thank you. It's a treat. We're so excited. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be a lot of fun. And people listening, they're going to come into the beginning of this interview as one person and leave as a different, more extraordinary person, and more of who they really are and less of who they don't want to be.
Yeah, that's it. You and I, we did a little like setting intention ahead of time. And, a part of me is like, oh, we should have recorded it. But, really that was the intention, is what you just said, is that this is, and what I'm hearing is that it's like a call to action to everyone's higher self, to the consciousness that is who you are. And that's the goal, is we're gonna have some fun.
Yes. Good. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Before we bring in Judah and this experience of channeling, which I'm so excited to get into, I think it might just be helpful to start out with a little bit about you and like for people to know your story. Like, did you always channel this collective consciousness? Did you know you were going to be doing this? You can pull the thread wherever you want. I know saying like, what's your life story, Anjie, is a little massive. So wherever you want to kind of come in and just share about your background, even recording artists to channel, like that's a little bit of a jump.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, channeling was not on my bucket list of things I wanted to do in life at all. And it's been really good for me because it's kind of busted up the last of whatever, persona I wanted to present to the world with respectability. It's all gone out the window. Sometimes I look at videos of myself channeling and I think, wow, I look like a total, utter, complete fool. This looks like some sort of voodoo or something. How did I get myself into this? But so I'll tell you a little bit of the story. I'm just, an average American kid. I was raised in a fundamentalist Christian home. My father went into the ministry when I was in 8th grade. And And I had a really divine experience when I was 7 or 8 years old. My mom had started taking me to church because I was asking questions about the nature of the universe and why is the sky blue and all the things that kids wonder about. And she had a background in church from her upbringing, and that's all she knew to do, right? She didn't have any other resources available as a Southern woman. So she started taking me to church, and one evening while I was there, I felt this presence come around me. I was enveloped in a mist. My eyes were open, and it was like I was sitting inside of a cloud, a rain cloud. And I felt so overcome with love, completely overwhelmed with love. And my heart was just jumping and ebullient to respond to this love I was experiencing. I had no clue what was going on. I was just a little kid, But I heard the preacher man down front say, he was talking all about hell and burning forever in eternity, and you need to give your heart to Jesus and all of that. And he said, and if that's what you want to do, come down front here. And so my two little feet just took me right down to the front, and I did all the things they told me to do. I said the prayer they told me to say. I was baptized. I started going to Sunday school, reading my Bible. I just did what all the adults told me to do. So now that I have this relationship with Judah so many years later, I realize now that I had the grace and the privilege of this incredible experience with divine love, but there were no adults in my life that understood what had happened to me. And the only way they knew to interpret it or put it in a pretty box with a bow on it was to tell me to do the things that they had done. But the truth was they had never actually had that experience themselves. And this reminds me of, what Jesus said, a little child will lead them. And that's where, if we can get back to the purity of some of the experiences that children have with divinity and with seeing angels and with experiencing love. And then don't define it for them, right? Don't put it in a tidy religious package or even a new age package, but just let them feel what they feel and experience all that is, however it comes to them. So fast forward so many years, I lived this life as a fundamentalist Christian. And I got married young and had 3 beautiful children. And I was at church every time the doors open. And I probably read the Bible cover to cover many times in my lifetime. And in the midst of all that, I was suffering a lot because I had all these egoic constructs of perspectives of how life is supposed to be and what kind of person I'm supposed to be and what God is like and all of that. I just had layers and layers and layers and layers of it. And the more years I spent in that paradigm, the more oppressed and depressed I was becoming. And the more my life wasn't working on the inside, even though I was kind of putting on a good front as a school teacher and a mom of 3 and a worship leader and a women's speaker. And I was hurting a lot on the inside. And I remember having this really common prayer kind of come up in my heart. I don't know how to live. I don't know how to live. Somebody, God, whoever you are, teach me how to live. And so when I got in my 40s, I had a series of unfortunate events. And this is really common, I think, for channelers to have a near-death experience or some big tragedy or trauma that just kind of jolts them awake, right? And not just for channelers, but for all of us that are having an awakening and enlightening experience. And awakening's not really that fun. It can be, for me, it was pretty painful, really painful, I would say. And so in my 40s, all this stuff started happening. My father died suddenly of a heart attack. I was an only child. He had a business that he ran, a car business. I was teaching school at the time and doing all my volunteer stuff and raising my 3 kids. And when my dad died, he left me with this business 2 hours away. I knew nothing about selling cars, but there were several, my family and some other families that were dependent on this business. So I stepped in to try to keep things, running. And meanwhile, my dad's best employee began embezzling from the company behind my back. Before my dad was even in the ground, he was signing over property to himself and stealing funds. And I was grieving and my marriage fell apart and blah, 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 right? It's the story. We've all got the story. And thank God we've all got the story, because it's the thing that brings us to our knees, brings us to surrender, brings us to, I don't know. I don't know became my favorite phrase, and it still is. I don't know, and I got a few years from the time that stuff started happening, several years in. So there's a lot of pain, but also I was waking up, I was questioning things, I was breaking free of religion. I was sifting and sorting through my ideas about life and the way I did things. And I got into COVID. I contracted COVID in 2020. I was with a brand new partner that life brought my way, a very powerful spiritual partner, very enlightened man that was the opposite of everything I'd ever known. And I contracted COVID. I was very sick. I really could do nothing but just sit in a chair for 2 years. It attacked my pericardium, my heart. And so I had no more roles. I couldn't be a wife. Really, I couldn't fulfill my wifely duties. I couldn't be a good mom or grandmother. All I could do was get myself dressed and eat, and that was about it. All the ego roles got stripped off. It was such a good thing. And I sat in the chair and meditated, and I read the teachings of enlightened beings, and I watched shows just like yours, and I was being transformed, and I was letting everything go. And about the end of that 2 years, my husband and I, my new husband and I, were sitting watching a show very similar to this, watching a channeler, much like myself. And Chuck looked at me and he said, "You could do that." And I was like, okay. I was done resisting anything and everything. Like, if the universe had told me to stand on my head or do 1,000 jumping jacks to feel better, I would have done it. And that very night, I had a major psychic experience. And I woke up channeling, typed up the first channel. When my husband came home, I read the message to him. We said, "What do we do next?" We sat down to meditate together, which is something we did a lot, and just anticipating that these beings were going to come through. And then this huge voice comes barreling through. And we meet these beautiful angels called Judah, and we've been channeling them for years now. And it was an instant transformation. I was instantly healed. The moment they came through, all my energy was restored. My body was back to 100%. I was just ramped up with this life force energy. And even to this day, when I channel them, I was just like being hooked up to the electrical socket, And here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. The one little thing I want to point out is that it didn't have to take years and years. And I think sometimes people think, to have that shift or transformation, like it was the time, it just, first of all, what is time anyhow? But it just happened, overnight, and that healing and that power. And it just speaks to the realm that we're going to connect in with that is like beyond human comprehension and abilities and healing and love. So that's incredible.
Exactly. And it's important, to consider our belief system, because we can have a belief system that becoming enlightened takes years or lifetimes. And in truth, it doesn't. It can happen in a moment, right? We're already enlightened. We're just in a process of remembering it, and we can just wake up to it. And so we want to let go of ideas that we have to suffer a little bit longer or more, or do something additional that we haven't done yet, or read a book or take a course that we haven't done yet. You know, transformation can come instantly as a gift.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Angie, I can already feel energetically we are so in sync, because literally that was the basis of my question, and my statement was, that's what I want to really get across, what you just said. So for you listener, beloved listener, just to be open-hearted, we would say open your heart, open your throat chakra, your third eye, your crown, your star chakra, top of the crown, like just open and receive. Because this can be, you didn't know this was happening. You didn't know you were going to be, I mean, if we talked 4 years ago, I'm sure I would have loved you then too. It probably would not have been this conversation at all. And
No, not at all.
yeah, it can happen at any time. I love that so much. I am just grounding into myself because I can already feel this incredible energy. I feel like I'm plugged, my back is plugged into a socket. So I'm going to just like
Yes.
root my feet into the earth, Mother Earth, Divine Mother.
Mhm.
And I'm going to ask that the questions come through. I've already been taking some notes on them. I can often hear, I don't usually say this out loud, but since you're here, you're inspiring me. I often hear my beautiful listeners. I can hear questions, and I'm going to ask to just be tuning into the questions that are being asked, so that this is just a beautiful dance and everybody is enlightened and uplifted from today, from this
Mhm.
conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. All right. So we are going to, can we call in Judah? Can we bring,
Absolutely.
I guess, them? It's not a him or it, it's them, right? Them
Yes,
in?
there are about 350,000 angels. And they also contain all of the lifetimes that I've ever lived. So when I connect in with them, I'm connecting with my higher self and every experiences that I've ever had in the scope of eternity. Yeah, let's just call them in and let them do a little monologue. Hello, dear Julie, and all your beautiful, beautiful friends and family. And together have created this beautiful consciousness, wherein a group consciousness, wherein each individual recovers and remembers and awakens to the glory, the beauty, the perfection, oh yes, the unlimited skill, abundance, infinite intelligence and worth, and love and lovability of who they really are, their USU, the true you, the higher self, not what the parents or society or religion or any manner of media condition have told you you are, my dear, but who you really are, which is divinity stuffed down in your lovely, lovely body. Yes. And you're here to remember all of that and begin to hold it in your body. And yes, it feels like a magnificent flood of electrical current through your body, white light energy. Angels are called angels because we don't have physical bodies. Our bodies are light bodies. Yes. And that is why you've attached this term angels to us. So understand that there are also many, many extraterrestrial and interstellar beings that you would consider angels because they have light bodies, etheric bodies, full of photons of white light energy. And we are very, very real. We are as real as the chair you're sitting in. It is simply that your human eyesight cannot see this part of the spectrum of light. The human eyes see a very limited part of the spectrum of light. However, we are very much real. You may at times see and experience us as flashes of light, trails of light in the room, or simply you may have the feeling that someone turned up the ability of your eyesight, and suddenly everything in the room looks brighter when we are speaking with you. You may also be experiencing a feeling of electricity around you, or an elevated feel similar to what you feel when you rise in elevation in an airplane. The sounds around your ears might change. You might hear some vibratory differences. And also, we want to bring to you during this time a transmission of love straight into your heart chakra. You might begin to cry. You might begin to feel emotional or free or just loved. This is what we want for you. So there are many, many words that can be said, and we are happy to use words as a vehicle for light and love. However, understand that what we want most and what this vessel, this woman wants most for you is to have an experience of love and freedom. She is not here to say, look at me, this is what happened to me. She's here to say, look, this is what can happen for you. If I did it, you can do it. If I did it, you can do it. Whatever I do, you can do more and better. And only to facilitate for you to be all that you want to be. For we say very frequently through this channel, we will say it again, everyone can channel. Everyone has the clair gifts that you speak of. Everyone can see in the spirit. Everyone can speak to angels. Everyone has a soul, a spirit in their inner being, in their inner man. And this soul is like a cell phone tower, a cell phone, soul phone tower. You can send and receive message constantly. You pick up your phone and you call anyone that you desire anywhere in the world, and you don't sit and have a quandary about how to do it, or can you do it, or should you do it, or should you be afraid to call this person or that? Well, of course you don't. Wouldn't that be silly? And so understand that you are a soul phone. You can contact any soul, not just on the earth, but in the cosmos. You can send and receive messages. You have that capacity built into you. Your very spine and all the spinal fluid that flows through your chakras is your soul phone tower. And through it, you connect in any way, in any wish that pleases you. And we know that because you're here, because you're listening to this broadcast with this particular beautiful host facilitator, that you're the kind of person that wants to connect with enlightened beings of love, joy, and peace. So there's no reason to be afraid now, is there? Of course not. And so have fun. And we are happy to always teach you and facilitate for you how to be this beautiful channel that you are. And you don't need to worry, well, we don't want to look weird or strange like this vessel. No, of course, you can retain your humanity, your rapport with others, and build bridges of love between your heart and theirs. And we can channel, or whoever you choose to channel can flow through you to bring the freedom and love that the other most needs in the moment that they need it.
Thank you, Judah. First of all, I'm laughing because all of these questions I had, of course, you knew them and answered them. I literally was like, cannot get over what just happened.
Burned through your list. Sorry.
I was like, look at that. The question, you just said it. And I'm hearing, let's talk about how I can hear beautiful listeners wanting to know, how do we do this ourselves? How do we connect into the angels, the archangels, to your consciousness, to these light beings, the beautiful, love-filled light beings? You started to mention the spinal fluid. Can you teach us how can we do a practice with you?
Yes. Would you like to be the guinea pig?
Yes, please. Sure.
All right,
And
great.
we can all do it together. Yeah.
So channeling is very simple. It's so simple that your mind will tell you that it's not working or you're not doing it right. And that's not true. It's so very simple. So first, we just want to understand that the vast majority of communication from other beings is telepathic. Okay, and we all have telepathic abilities, right? You've probably occasionally maybe sensed that your son was in the room next to you. You didn't hear his voice. You didn't have any natural, tangible knowledge that he was there, but you just knew he was in there, right? So
Absolutely.
And we all communicate telepathically. Have you ever had a moment where you're thinking, "Ooh, I need to walk into the kitchen and get my tea," and your partner comes through the door with your tea in his hand? And it's because you're communicating telepathically. So we're all doing it. So all we have to do is get rid of this idea that we have to have some kind of special qualification or experience or years of training or whatever to do this, because we're going to do it right now. Okay. So all
Let's
you
do
need to
it.
do is just relax and breathe and just allow yourself to kind of relax into an alpha-theta brainwave state. And let me tell you what that is. It's just a daydream state. It's the state that you feel when you're about to drift off to sleep at night, or you're just waking up in the morning. It's like that twilight, daydreamy place. Okay? So you're just relaxing inside. Sometimes I say to myself, I'm going to let my mind melt into my heart, and that can help. And so you're just going to ask in your inner being for your higher self, the you, to search for and find. And let's just work with Judah right now, but you can use the name of any entity that you trust, that you have a good rapport with. So it might be Archangel Michael, it might be the Buddha, it might be Muhammad, it might be Jesus, it could be Mother Mary, it could be the Arcturians. It does not matter, but we're just going to use Judah for this moment, okay? Judah's a willing participant. So Julie, in your inner being, just say, higher self, can you locate the consciousness of Judah? And then just relax and wait. And what happens is you'll feel a shift. You might feel a little bit of a different emotion, or you might feel kind of lightheaded for a second. Sometimes people will feel a weight, as if someone's putting their hand over their heart, like laying their hand on their chest. Sometimes people will feel a little tickle around their third eye or on their crown, or they might feel little bits of electricity going across their eyelids. So I'll be quiet and let you just share what's going on with you.
So, and of course, I'm already thinking everyone can do this with me, but I'm doing this now kind of as the example.
Yes, they
So I'm
can.
feeling, yeah, this is for all of us. So it's interesting. I right away zoomed out and felt this huge, huge light energy around me as my higher self, my meest me, like this pinkish kind of translucent, huge light. And I loved what they said about the soul phone, the soul tower. And I just said, can you please ring in Judah, please ring in and bring in Judah
Yes.
in my consciousness. And I feel a little bit of shakiness in my legs. I feel like I'm honestly like there's some real energy in my body going on here. And it kind of made me chuckle. I feel, I don't know if they feel very, I don't know why I want to laugh. Joyful, buoyant.
Yes, they do. They do.
Like they're so, I just feel like I'm on, honestly, like this little bit of a high, like a natural.
On drugs, yes.
And I'm warm. I feel very warm and giggly.
Yes.
And that's,
Good.
yeah,
All right.
like
So stay with
they're
that.
so funny. They're like, I feel like they're funny and
They are.
and buoyant and joyful. It's not serious. Like I'm shaking a
Right.
little. My hand is shaking, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I'm warm.
All right. So I want you to close your eyes and enjoy that. Close your eyes and enjoy it while I talk a little. And your listeners, if you're in a safe location, you can do this along with us. And if not, you can do it later. You can hit the replay button and do it.
Yes.
All right. So that's exactly right, Julie. So what you're experiencing is you're experiencing Judah's consciousness moving into your physical being. Okay. And so obviously that's why you want to pick a safe and loving entity to work with, right? All right, so I want you to just enjoy this while I talk a little bit and teach your friends. Okay, so this is very similar to having sexual relationships, right? When you think about intimate relationships, there are millions of people on the planet you could have an intimate relationship with, but you want to choose the ones you feel safe with, that you feel an attraction of love with, and some rapport and compatibility, right? So, and then once you have that, established that safety and trust, then you welcome them into your body in a sexual experience, and it feels wonderful. So this channeling experience is similar. It's not sexual in nature at all, but it's similar because Julie is allowing Judah to actually enter her body. Right. So her consciousness and Judah's consciousness are merging together in this beautiful, almost orgasmic state. And so when she described to you, oh, I feel like I want to laugh. It feels really joyful. I feel really hot. What that feeling is not who Julie normally is. She is experiencing what Judah's feelings and thoughts and emotions and their personality, because she's getting intimate with them through this merging of her consciousness with theirs for whatever time she chooses to be merged. So, Julie, I'll just confirm that, because usually when Judah begins channeling through me, I get super hot. I feel like I'm having a hot flash.
Yeah.
All right, now let's check in with you again, dear. Just stay with it. And you might start to feel really stoned, and that's okay. Around here, we laugh and we call it being God stoned. As a matter of fact, a lot of times we can't drive because of it. It's so great. And we don't do any drugs at our house. All right. So it's just total divinity getting stoned. All right. So. All right.
Oh my
So now,
God.
Julie, tell me what you're feeling in your physical body right now, if you can.
This is hilarious. I've never done an episode. I'm sweating my head off. I was like,
Yes.
I'm perimenopausal. I'm like, I feel like this is a massive hot flash. Like that's what it feels like. But I feel like I just want to giggle, like, and laugh. And I feel a little like I'm cold and hot, like
Yes.
clammy, and I'm shaking a little. But this is not. It feels loving, and it feels. I feel like I'm getting. I've been doing an oxygen tank, hyperbaric chamber, different sessions. It feels like I'm in extra oxygen.
Yes.
That's how it feels.
That's right. All right. So I'm going to ask you
Wow.
to turn it up. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So join me in your inner being. Just thank Judah in your inner being and see if you can surrender even more to it. See if you can just even open up even more to them and surrender even more, and just drink them like you would drink a glass of water. And that is exactly right. They have these beings. If you're a fan of, and you know Hawkins' scale of consciousness, I'm going to talk while you're enjoying, Julie. 1,000 is the level of enlightenment. 0 is the level of suicidal, homicidal, despair. 1,000 is the level of Jesus and the Buddha and other enlightened beings. Judah is a 5,000 on that scale. We've had their energy professionally calibrated. So you will feel all this heat through your body and vibration. There's a lot of healing going on. Good. Now let's begin the actual channeling part, okay? And before we do that, I want to say that words do not have to be involved with channeling. 99% of the time when I work with folks doing this, they'll say to me that they just feel incredibly loved, right? And the first words that they usually hear from the entity they're channeling is, "We love you, we are one." And so understand, these beings are here to develop a relationship with you. You matter to them, and they want to help you grow and be your truest self. So the easy way to begin channeling, Julie, is we're just going to ask Judah yes or no questions. Okay? And then at some point, we'll switch and let you channel other beings.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. So in your inner being, just ask Judah any question you want to ask and try to make it a yes or no question so that it can be very clear.
Okay.
All right. And what question do you want to ask them?
It's a big one, and I'm laughing at the turn of this. This is like so beautiful, not what I expected, and they're laughing with me. They're just,
Good.
wow. I said, does it matter what religion you come from?
And what did they say?
No,
No, that's
no,
right.
no, it's not yes and no. Ask it a yes and no way.
Yeah. Yeah, let's follow that thread they're giving you that was
Yeah.
important to you. Judah, I'm going to ask, and Julie, you're going to give me the response from Judah. Okay?
Okay.
Judah, can you work with anyone of any religion?
Yeah, because
Go ahead and let them tell you. Just speak for them. Yeah?
I'm going to just say what's coming. This
Yeah?
is so wild. Way to turn this around. Love is love is love is love is love is love.
That sounds just like Judah. Yep.
This is the wackiest and this is so great. I'm gonna take myself and ego out of it because I'm like, oh my gosh. There I'm seeing I'm feeling it's like love has no label. It's love is 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 love love love. It, that's it. All of us come from love. Like they're whatever the label. I'm almost seeing like throwing it like a banana, throwing this, throwing that. Like
Yes.
it has nothing to do. It doesn't get in the way with love. It's not good or bad.
That's
It's okay
right.
to have it, but love is love is love.
Exactly. And it's so funny that you're sharing it that way. I know you're channeling Judah because Judah loves to repeat words and it drives my husband crazy. So that's how I know you're channeling Judah. All right, let's ask Judah another question. Thank you, Judah.
So hot.
Thank you, Judah, for all this good energy you're giving Julie. Okay, so
Yes.
Judah, what about atheists and agnostics? Any problems there? Can you work with them? Let's hear what Judah says about that.
They're doing this like dance. It's like love is love is love is love is love is love is love. Love is love is love is love is love is love.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Soul is love. Love is soul. Soul is love. Soul love. Love soul. It doesn't. It's so wild. I'm trying. Oh my God. I'm
All
just
right.
laughing. Soul
So
is love. Love is soul. Nope. Doesn't matter at all.
So
Nope.
this is so funny, Julie. So you and I are trading places. I'm going to be hostess and you're going to be the Judah channel. So stay there with Judah. And
We'll
I'm going
come
to
back to you so people know. We'll come back to you. This is hilarious. This is hilarious.
Right now,
Oh
I want us to channel a different being so your listeners can see that how easy it is. Okay. And that you can channel more than one being.
Okay.
All right. So just give Judah your thanks for being with you. Okay.
I'm going to say you can wait in the wings. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't want him to leave. All right.
Leave.
Before they go, ask them, say, Judah, can I channel Archangel Michael?
That's what I was asking.
You were already asking that. Great. All right. All right, good. Did they say yes?
Oh my God.
Did they say yes?
So wild. And my eyes are closed. It's helping. I just saw the image of what we see as Archangel Michael. They pushed this Archangel Michael on center stage with a spotlight. Like showtime. I'm hearing showtime, Archangel Michael. I'm still laughing, which feels funny. It's not disrespectful. It's just, it's so funny because it's like,
joy
of course,
is their thing.
I'm just getting this huge, I keep getting the spotlight on this, the stage of this huge, beautiful, like almost like Gaston from Frozen. He's like, I'm here.
Yeah. All right. Now, before we transition to Michael, I want to share something for your listeners, right? So some of you are going to feel things in your body. Some of you are going to hear changes in sounds or clicking or elevation changes in your ears. Some of you are going to see pictures like Julie is seeing, and they're just gentle thought impressions in the mind, or they might be really clear, like a movie roll. I don't see on that level, but whatever is happening with you is okay. And the way you know that you're actually channeling is because this feels different than who you know yourself to be. It does feel like another energy or personality is with you. Okay. All right. So now, Julie, we're going to switch to Archangel Michael, and I'll share so your listeners know how to do this. So you can just, again, staying in your heart in that alpha theta state. The reason we stay in this state is because your brain is really, there's a lot of neuroplasticity there. So even as you're channeling, know that old neural networks in your brain are being unwired and rewired, right? With new wisdom and insight, and with the ability to connect with higher wisdom. All right, so as you're there, you can thank Judah. And Judah, like I said, loves to do this, likes to introduce us to different beings. They're the Oprah of the Cosmos. And so again, you'll just say, higher self, or say to your inner being, will you please connect me with Michael? And then the energy is going to shift and you'll feel it. And you're literally just allowing Michael to enter into your being, to merge in with your consciousness.
This is very different. It's so
totally
interesting.
Different.
I feel like I feel like low. I actually feel energy on my head.
Good.
Feels like I'm surrounded by a huge column of light.
Yes.
Like the spotlight I saw on stage was now actually, it's like it's all around me, but I feel it in my head.
Good. So I'm going to ask Michael to increase that. And I want to share, as you're explaining that, a really important channel we got early on from Archangel Michael. So there's no accident that you're seeing this pillar of light, because the first time that Michael channeled through me, Michael said, I'm going to make you a pillar of white light and fire. So that's what's happening to you right now, sweetie. Michael is making you into a pillar of white light and fire in the earth. And, I didn't really even know what that meant, but it has something to do with being a pillar holds up things, right? A pillar is mounted between the floor and the ceiling. And this is how the universe is using you, sweetie. You're a pillar, opening up a portal to heaven and allowing the white light of heaven to flow down to the earth through these portals that you create through yourself, the person that you are, and through this format. Okay, you can feel Michael doing that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now ask Michael a question in your inner being, and then let him speak the answer.
Okay. I have so many, so let me pick one. This is so funny. I'm like,
and for the listeners, if you want to keep it simple, you can just ask a yes or no question so that you feel really clear. Julie's likely going to be able to receive a wider stream of information. But if you're just beginning, you can keep it simple with yes and no questions.
So first I asked, I want to be able to feel your presence. How do I know you're here? And then to make it more for everyone, I just said, can we call you in at any time? Can I call you in at any time?
What does he say?
Whoa. First of all, I feel like crying with this energy, like tearing up. It's so, it's very really
authoritative.
Powerful.
Yeah, it's very authoritative, isn't it? Very masculine.
In a beautiful way. Like what I saw was like, or felt, if you imagine the old school phone cord, it's like way above my head. It's like the phone, all you do is like what Judah said, you call, and I saw a flash of light just go right over me. It's not even, it's the second the second I even bring Archangel Michael into my consciousness to say I would like to bring you in and call you in, it's there. It's like
Exactly.
it's there immediately.
And I want to verify that, Julie, because there's a scripture in both the Hebrew and Christian tradition in Isaiah, and it says this: "Before you even call me, I have answered you."
I didn't know that.
Right. So even as you're even thinking that you might set the intention, boom, Michael's there. And Michael is the express image of God. If we were to see Michael in physical form, we would be terrified. Not in a bad way, but just we would feel like we just had looked in the eyes of God.
It feels like a 1,000-foot humongous form that's actually coming down in size so that I can not feel frightened by the size. It's so loving. It's very the protective and the I just hold my heart. My question is around healing and protection. Just calling in Archangel Michael when, for me or anyone listening, if you feel you need support or healing, and I'm just getting, I'm seeing, okay. It's a lightning bolt. It's like a lightning flash. Holy moly. Almost, I see emojis sometimes. It looks like the lightning emoji. It's just like, whoa, this is what I think we don't understand that I'm going to ask you when we flip this. This is so wild. This is what you said earlier, Angie. There's no need to wait. There's no training. You don't need a book. You don't need a religion. You don't need anything other than we're completely connected. It's only the calling. That's it. So the minute I say, come here, be with me, done, here, huge presence. I mean, feel very different than I did when Judah was here.
Right. So before we leave this segment, I want you to allow Michael to speak through you, because I think you're going to be surprised at how clearly he can speak through you. And it doesn't have to be a big booming voice like Judah does with me. It might be, but you can just sense what he's saying and say it with your own voice.
Okay. Can you ask me something and I can call him
absolutely.
In that way? Okay.
Michael, what do you most want this audience right now that's listening to know about you and about themselves?
Okay. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing 24/7, 24/7. There's no, I'm at your, I'm going to just say what I'm hearing. I'm at your disposal. There's nowhere I'm not. You call me in 24/7, 24. Ooh, it makes me want to cry. It's really emotional. It's really emotional. Just getting the 24/7. You call me in. I'm not even a heartbeat away. I'm intricately part of you. You're part of me. There's something about we're all, I'm shaking a little, in a good way. Just, you just bring me into consciousness. You call my name. You call in any language, in any religion, in any, it doesn't even if you don't have the words, you just conjure this beautiful light, this power, this protect me. And I'm here 24/7, 24/7. I keep hearing there's no time I'm not on call.
Yeah.
There's no time I'm not on call for you. That's gorgeous. Wow. That's what I'm hearing. And that everyone can do this. Every human, every being that's human in human form is a soul, is connected, can call in Archangel Michael, call in this energy all the time, 24/7. And it's here immediately.
Good. All right. While you're getting grounded and coming out of that channeling state, I'll share a couple of things. For some of you, just so that you know, those of you who really want to dive in and channel this way, you can channel the way Julie was, which is you're hearing the voice and you share it with your human voice. or you can channel the way I was doing earlier, which is direct voice, where I'm actually allowing Judah to take over the control of my vocal cords. And there's nothing you need to know about how to do that. You just surrender and allow them to do it. And sometimes, if you're going to be a direct voice channeler, you'll get the clue that that is on the horizon for you if you start to feel pulling around your mouth, or your muscles might start twitching, or you might feel heat or tension around your mouth. I thought for a little while there that I had tardive dyskinesia. If you think you have that, you don't. Don't bother going to the doctor. It's somebody trying to use your mouth to talk. And yes, it's for everybody. All right, Julie, tell me all about how that was.
Hi, I'm Kathy Batista. I'm a life designer, coaching academy graduate, and now a mentor inside of LDC. And I'm here to let you in on the secrets of this incredible program. And let me tell you, they are game changers. First of all, sure, most programs will teach you coaching skills and you will receive a certification. And yes, you will learn amazing and unique coaching tools and techniques that Julie developed herself in LDC. But the difference is Julie actually gives us this secret sauce for your whole life. The skills you'll learn are like this magic toolkit, and you'll be able to be waving your coaching wand in your sessions, at your job, with your kids, your family, your friends, your partner, even your neighbors. I guarantee it. But here's the real gem of it. It's not just about learning how to coach others. It's about mastering your own inner game, your own inner sanctuary. It's like saying goodbye to that self-doubt and hello to the clear, confident you. And you might just fall a little more in love with yourself along the way. It's been known to happen quite a few times in every cohort. And one of the unique skills that Julie and us mentor coaches teach you is how to trust your gut, develop a deeper connection with your intuition. That's right, like no more second guessing. You'll be able to make decisions for both your coaching and your life like a boss. So, if you're ready to sprinkle a little bit of magic into your world, this, my friend, is the place to be. Expect to have a blast and expect to make lifelong friends, to grow and transform like never before. And you're going to leave with skills that'll have you creating the life you desire and the life you deserve. You will not regret it.
Woo! Well, I am just okay. I've never ever ever done this in an interview, and I'm so there's the Julie that's like, what just happened? Like I was supposed to be, and we'll go back to you and Judah because there's a part of me that's like, we want to hear Judah, and I have to say that was incredible experience. Like I felt a very big difference in my body actually with those energies. There's a part of me, I think if I practiced, that wanted to like boom the voice
Yes.
with Archangel Michael, but kind of held back just honestly a little bit of my own like, oh my gosh, what is this going to sound like, people? So I held back a little with that, but I could feel like it just wanted to boom it. And Judah felt so like
Different.
bubbly. Yeah, like it just, it's hilarious. They're
Effervescent.
effervescent. And
Mhm.
my body was cold and shaking and warm. And with Archangel Michael, it felt like I was like, whoa, very different energy, very like a
Yes.
force of light. And
Very authoritative.
yeah, it
Yes.
made me really feel the love and the wanting to cry in a different way
Yes,
than
very safe with Michael.
very safe. Absolutely. And I just keep thinking you know, the goal, the beauty is anybody listening in can rewind and do this yourself. Cause I keep
Absolutely.
thinking it's not just, it's for all of us. We can do this. And that beautiful message, I really got the 24/7. It's so funny. I'm like, wow, I just can't, all I see is 24/7, 24/7. It's here. And Angie, thank you for demonstrating and guiding me. That was amazing.
You're a
I've actually
channeler
never
now.
done that.
You can check that off your bucket list. Check.
I maybe off air I'll do it again where I let the voice do what it wants to do, because I was like, whoa, it feels like it wants to boom it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was amazing.
All right.
Wow.
Well, Judith's still
Channeling.
here if you want to.
Yes. This is so fun. All right. So Judah's already here. All right. I'm going to just ground myself again. Judah, can you explain, like, this might sound elementary, but who is Judah?
Yes, dear. We are a collective of a multitude of angels. We are from Sirius A. Our heritage is Lyran. We are feline in nature. And so we are like a glorious lion. This is where the phrase, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, comes from. Sometimes when this vessel is channeling us, she might hear the breathing of a lion, the snorting even of a lion. We are worshipers. We are creative. We are ebullient. It is our delight always through this vessel to help humanity. There are higher dimensional beings such as ourselves, and we work with them. However, we prefer to work in the fifth dimension because we want to transform as many people as possible in the human race into their higher dimensional state. We work together as one soul, one voice, one mind. We prefer and defer to one another with love. There is no competition with us. Amongst angels, there's never any competition whatsoever or fear of threat. We are always willing to hand the mic to another, to anyone who has anything that is of service to you. We love this one. She is one of us. Her soul individuated out from our collective with the desire to try on the human experiment. And so when she made our acquaintance again, when she remembered us, when we came through her this first time in 2020, it was a happy reunion, for she is one of us. And so we feel like home to her. We are her home. Now we want to speak to something you referred to earlier. There are those who are listening who at times feel lonely, but we want to say, if you're going through that phase, it won't last forever, but loneliness can be a gift to encourage you to get alone with God, to meet your angels, to develop relationships with higher beings, to discover who you are outside the context of human relationships. For in human relationships, there's always a push, pull, and tug around what others want you to be, their expectations, what you want from them, the outcomes that are desired, and so on. But when you get in relationship with us, it is different. We take you exactly where you are. We love you exactly how you are. We don't judge anything about your experience. It's a come as you are party. Whether you're high, whether you're low, whether you're very unconscious in despair, sadness, anger, loneliness, or whether you're nearly an enlightened being, we'll take you where you are and help you to go to the next level with what it means to be you in your experience. Now, what else can we answer for you, my dear?
Thank you, Judah. Wow. I am curious if all of us have a collective consciousness such as your beings that we all connect into, that is different, that is for each unique person. Is it like we all have an address with a collective waiting for us, or how does this work?
Yes, everyone has their own Judah. Everyone has their own Judah. You see, everyone has their own soul family. Everyone has cosmic mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters and so on and so on. And so it's just that most of you, because of it's a very dense nature of human life, the densities of sadness, despair, duality, anger, fear. Fear is the predominant prohibitive factor, we would say. Most of you have forgotten, and that is okay, because today is your wake-up call. And no more hitting the snooze button, okay? So, yes, you all have a soul family. If you want to get to know them, use the exercise that we just did. Hit the rewind button, go back and do it 2 or 3 times. And when you're in that state, you simply ask, higher self, can you please connect me to my soul family? Can you connect me to the group consciousness, which is my soul family? And then you will feel them move into your experience, just as you did with us and Michael. You see? So it's very simple. Just go in with the question that you want answered. So until that time, we are always available 24/7 to act as a foster parent, a foster mother, father. We can be your foster angels. There are many people on the globe today who talk with Judah, and we are there. We can facilitate an on-ramp for you to get on the highway of enlightenment. And once you're on that freeway, heading in the right direction, then we can facilitate your connection with your soul family.
That is so beautiful. I'm going to be asking you to be my foster parents until I have. We're doing because it was too fun. I'm gonna say a little ad here. If you don't have your collective consciousness, I would encourage you to connect in with Judah.
Yeah.
That was one of the more fun experiences. You're coming back.
Fun.
I'm gonna invite you back. Judah, I am curious, with so much strife and wars and things going on in the world, without getting too much into the wording around it, can you share, what's happening and how? I know anybody listening here, I just know, because it attracts just incredibly beautiful individuals. All individuals are beautiful, but all individuals that want to make a difference and impact and raise consciousness. What's happening, and how can we bring more love and light to this planet? I know that's a big question. I just figured, why not?
Yes,
I got you here.
No, I love this one. I love this question, and Judah loves it too. Okay, yes, let's talk about that. Well, we want to, first of all, give you a higher perspective on war. And listen carefully. We want you to understand that we are not minimizing anyone's suffering in these wars that are happening now. Okay? We have our eye on every single one of them. But here is a larger perspective. You see, there were those who lived through World War I and World War II, and those days were so very, very dark, my dear, very, very dark. And of course, it felt like the end of the world, but it wasn't, was it? And understand that beings such as ourselves have seen many, many, many cosmic and interstellar wars throughout the multiverse. And war is a sadness in the heart of all that is. And so what to do about that? You see, for you to give your attention to the war in an undue fashion is to give away your power. This is what we want you to understand more than anything else. And so if you love all those who are suffering through the war right now, what you can do to really make a difference is to raise your own level of consciousness through meditation and connection, through exactly what you're doing during this time right now with us. For you see, one enlightened soul can negate the hatred, disease, warfare, strife, sadness, and anger of over 70 million persons on the planet. Listen again to what we're saying. One enlightened person who chooses to maintain their intention into their inner family of love, joy, peace, and high consciousness can cancel the negativity of millions of people who are suffering at the hands of unconsciousness. And so this is why Michael showed you, my dear, to be a pillar of white light and fire. Literally, your soul standing between earth, your feet on the earth, and your light emanation of your soul stretching up farther beyond what you can imagine into then to touch heaven and to break through the stratosphere into the heavenly realm and bring the power of angels and archangels and source and all that is down to the earth to bring in consciousness through the pillar of white light that you are. War would not exist if everyone on the planet were conscious, if everyone were awakened today. This sounds very simple. We don't mean for it to be tried or as, again, to minimize anyone's suffering, but we will say this. If everyone right now on the planet would only love the one person in front of their face right now, through and through, with an open heart, with all forgiveness, no judgment, total unconditional love, the whole world would be instantly transformed into enlightenment. So if you love the precious ones enduring the hardship of war at this time, meditate, go inside, bring your attention back inside to your own heart and end the war within your own soul. End the war in your own soul. Love and comfort the inner parts of yourself that have seen hardship and difficulty in your past and even in your past lives. Love all of those parts. Integrate all of those parts into unity, into oneness, into service. Make your connection and let love flow through. This is what you do about war.
This feels very similar. I've been reading A Course in Miracles, working through it, and it feels very similar to the teachings, which, if it's okay to ask just a couple more questions of you, Judah, this is like, got the mic, we're growing. Similar to Anjie, who's bringing you in, the topic of religion for a moment, I'm always curious by it. I've been sharing with friends that I feel, there's a shift in human beings identifying in different genders, and this will make sense in a minute, which to me is really feels like evidence of expansion to me, that there's people that feel both and different. And I have said, I feel like sometimes I'm not transgender and gender, but like in religion, like I feel one with so many different religions. And I'm curious, Judah's perspective on the purpose of religion. How does the collective consciousness of Judah look at religion, its aspect in our lives, how it might be here as a support, and also this idea of kind of oneness versus having separate identities through that structure we call religion. I'm just curious of Judah's perspective on that.
Yes, good. We love this question. This is a very important one. Very, very, very important, because we want to say that there are so many beautiful souls who are religious in nature and have affiliation, and we're very unhappy about how many in the New Age tradition have somehow set themselves up to be better than these, and somehow have created a separateness that is prohibitive For there are many in religion who want to experience more freedom. They want to sift and sort through their religious tradition and cast off some of it and keep some of it and find life in it and get rid of what doesn't have life. But they aren't finding friends who are non-judgmental, who can help them to do this. And we long to be this sort of safe place. So let's talk about religion. What is it? Well, you see, let's look at Christmas, for example. All the celebration around Christmas with the Christ child. Well, we want to help you understand that what's important about the story of the Christ child is this: to understand that every child born on the planet is a Christ child with the capacity to be born in the lowest of the lowest station in life and become an enlightened healer to transform the planet. You see, so we did not intend in the intentions get skewed many times through religion. Now, religion can be helpful for those who are new beings, new to spiritual life, who need some guardrails, you see, who need some structure. And they are young and need their hand held when they walk across the street a little bit, and so on. And so there's nothing wrong with that. But let's just have a big view here of religion and understand that religion was created in response to a human soul who had an experience of enlightenment. You see, Buddhism emerged from the experience of one man, Gautama Siddhartha, who was later called the Buddha, who had a beautiful journey of the soul into enlightenment. And everything of Buddhism was a structure assembled around that. The same with Christianity. Christianity are structures and ideas and ideologies and dogmas and practices and traditions built around a single human soul who had an experience of enlightenment. And so this is what we want to say. We most want you to hear is this: don't trade a practice, an idea, a dogma, a place, a tradition, a way of living and being, a teaching, a preaching, for an experience. This is why this vessel, my dear, wanted you to channel today, because she wants you to experience yourself as the God that you are in a body, as the Christ you are, as the Buddha you are, as the Rumi, as the Eckhart Tolle, as the enlightened being that you are. We don't play favorites, you see. And so the problem with a religion that can arise, as the story the vessel told in the beginning, is when one who is having a true experience with angels and source and with their own enlightened higher self is then dumbed down into a religious dogma, rather than religious people could well benefit by simply saying, wow, we've never seen that, but that looks and smells divine. That feels like love. That feels like the fruit of the Spirit, like joy and peace and goodness. So we're just going to say, we don't know about that, you see, and let it be what it is. Let it be what it is, and don't try to package it or wrap it up or explain it or justify, argue, defend it. So what's most important is for those who are receiving life from religion and having a true experience with divinity on their insides in religion, we say, keep doing that. And for those who are not, we say, please get out. Please get out, you see. And what we want most is for you to understand you are the temple. You are the Taj Mahal. You see, you are the Taj Mahal. And divinity loves you like the one who built the Taj Mahal built it for his beloved. you see. Every cell in your being is like a brick in that Taj Mahal.
Woo, Judah. That was just is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. One of my last questions would be to talk about the divine, about source, God. Often there are, and I mean no disrespect for those that, going back to the gender, call it he or she or they, or and all might be. Can you share, just from the words that we have in this language, how we can better understand source, God, the all that is, and any aspects that I'm just going to leave it very open-ended, of what this actual beautiful, all creative, knowing, loving source really is.
Yes. Good. Well, we can tell you that we are neither male nor female. We are the perfect embodiment of all the graces of femininity and all the authority and beauty of the male as well. We are perfect yin and yang, male and female balance. And all the struggles and wars going on in your culture around these gender issues are simply the consciousness of humanity trying to get into balance with the male and the female, the yin and the yang, the left and the right, you see. And all of that, all of those wars are about finding centeredness and balance and perfection and merging back into divinity. And so this vessel likes to call us a she many times. And she does that on purpose so that she can provoke people to let go of their judgments that God is a man, you see. And there are many who are very wounded by the idea of Father God. They don't like to hear those words. So sometimes she uses those words. We use those words because we want to help those of you who have been hurt by father figures, by patriarchy, by religious fathers, spiritual fathers. We want to push your buttons a little bit until you're able to reach a healing with that. For you see, a father is simply a term for the one who brings the seed, you see. And the mother is simply a word for the one who nurtures life. And so the seed is needed. And the space and time and emptiness to nurture the seed into life is needed. Both are needed. Both are needed for life. And what is God? God is life, force, energy. God is all that is, male and female, every soul, billions upon billions and trillions of souls, and everything that has life praises all that is, you see. And so to be a worshiper is to love life. It's not to hold a book in your hand or go in a building or adhere to a doctrine. To be a worshiper is to love all that is as being exactly what it is intended to be. The light, the dark, the good, the bad, the peace, the war, the in, the out, the male, the female, and everything in between emanates forth from God. And you are God. You are God. And I'll share, just to finish that, one of the first images Judah gave me, which is in the book, is that God is like a diamond that is bigger than we can imagine, with billions of faces or facets on that diamond. And in every one of these trillions of facets, you can see a new and distinct and completely unique aspect of God. And you are one of those facets, and I am one of those facets, and Judah's one of those facets, and Michael the Archangel, and and even atheists and agnostics and people that are inciting war are one of those facets. And all of it together makes up something that's far beyond what we can fathom, really.
Well, this has been one of the more enlightening conversations I've ever partaken in. And thank you. And thank you to Judah. I went right there with some big questions that
Love
I was
those.
like, here you go.
Yeah, like the
Here
hard
you
ones.
go. I think the last thing that's there for me, you know, it's funny when this idea of the USU, it was like I was just trying to come up with wording around the higher self, the soul self, the you know, the question that's there is really how for anyone listening at any point in time in history, because I pray this, you know, can be listened to 100 years from now,
Yes.
whenever it might be, not even be here. How do we tap into what I would call your USU, your higher self, and what's possible? That's the other question in this earth plane. If all of us are courageous enough to do that.
Well, Judah has taught us very plainly about what the future holds. And what the future holds is as we continue to raise our level of consciousness and live from our higher self, our soul, being aligned with our passion and being connected to source. As we continue on that path, all of humanity will experience what we call enlightenment. And so an enlightenment has seemed to be something that only happens to 1 in a million, right? That's going to change, and it is changing already. And there will be a time when all of humanity is living in an enlightened state. And when we get to that point, then we will be full of so much of that white light energy that you experienced with Michael that we won't need our physical bodies anymore. And there are people on the earth today who are already going through that transition, that their bodies are containing so many photons of white light that they can't eat certain things anymore. Their physiology is changing into a new man, a new person, a new human. So when we look back at like Cro-Magnon, you know, we see pictures of Cro-Magnon, we're like, oh, was that really a human? Well, you know, 100 years from now, we're going to look back at ourselves now and say, wow, were human beings really like that? Because humanity is literally physically changing because of our levels of consciousness going up into this enlightened state. So Judah has told us that we are headed towards being angels. We are going to have angelic light bodies. And, you know, Jesus even said that. Jesus said in the scripture, you are sons of God and you are like the angels. So that's where we're headed.
I'll just say that it's so beautiful. And I love going back to what this means is it's not 1 in a million. We're all able to do this. They mentioned, you know, this focusing on love and you are the temple, you worshiping of love, of life. I love that. What a gorgeous way to just bottom line it all. Really, the whole message is to be a worshiper of love and life, all of it, and to stay in that. And you know, Anjie, it's interesting. I've noticed even in my own body things that I cannot eat anymore. I can't, and I think even with healing and healings, I would imagine some of this is connected to really tuning in. What does your body need now? And especially for anyone listening who's on this path, to really just honor the Taj Mahal that you live in. I love that. The pyramid that you live in, the sacred temple, the cathedral you live in, whatever comes for you. This has been so just beautiful and definitely not as planned, which I love. Wow, we went way different than we went. I always call them, they're like heart flares when your heart's like, wait a minute, I have something just like where are there any heart flares for you? Is there anything that's just right there, either you and or Judah, that just is there that I didn't ask, or that is a message or something that's coming through you that you just want to share before
Well,
we
I
close?
just want to say that we love all your beautiful listeners. Anyone listening here is you're destined for enlightenment. Just the fact that you're here listening to this show, I've done this enough to know that that's evidence to me. And we're here to serve you any way we can at the Judah channel. We have so many resources for you, and we'd love to help you. Whatever the next step is for you on your journey, we want to see you achieve it. And just like Julie was so brave today and was willing to try this on, this is our passion, is not that we just talk at you or give you another teaching to listen to. Do we have resources? Yes, but they're only to facilitate you being your US you. And actually our course is called True You, which is exactly what Julie's setting forth here. Your higher, getting to know your higher self, what it feels like, what it smells like, how it operates, and then allowing it to be in charge, right?
Anjie, Judah, Archangel Michael, thank you. This was just profound. And if you'd like to share, we will have in the show notes where this is posted everywhere, on YouTube, of course, too, your information. Where is the best place for people to find you?
We can onboard you at thejudahchannel.com. We have lots of free resources there for you, and then some other things you can tap into as well. And we have a beautiful YouTube family, and we do live streams every Sunday night. And we'd love to see you in person too. We have a get together once a month, and we have friends fly in from all over the place for that, and it's free. And we get people started doing exactly what Julie did today. And I thank you, Julie, for being so brave and being willing to channel for the first time ever instead of hosting. In addition to hosting, I'll say.
Yeah, that was so special. We will have all of that listed as well. And Anjie, thank you for just your light, your beautiful heart. And I want to say what I'm always feeling is, as you said, for you, our beloved soul friend. I feel like anyone here is part of our soul family. I just feel that wherever you are in the world, I know from all over the world. And to just, again, as we said in the beginning, thank you for being so open-hearted, for being so open-minded, and just really being a stand for your own greatest love story with yourself and what's possible in the world. And so much love for you. And thank you for joining us on this ride today, which was so unexpected and so fun and out of my comfort zone in a great way. And Anjie, thank you. And thank you to everyone. Thank you.
An honor, Julie. Thank you.
Namaste. And so much love to you, our beloved listener. My friend, I'm so grateful and honored to be here with you on your journey and being your US you. Thank you for watching this episode, for being part of this incredible community and this mission to really step into your light, to your highest purpose. I believe that as we all do that, we all can really be our best selves and uplift consciousness and in humanity. So thank you. I also wanted to say that if you are looking for greater support right now, maybe you're having a health concern, or you're looking to really step into that next version, best version of yourself, please come connect with me, whether it's for more resources or coaching or guidance. I would love to support you in any way that I can. Just go to juliereisler.com. You can book a powerful one-on-one breakthrough session there. You can connect with me. I would love to meet you. I'd love to hear how I can be on this journey with you. And before I forget, if you'd like a little more of this good vibe tribe and would like to digest these episodes with a high vibe community, just go to Facebook and look up the US You podcast community. You'll find us there. Love always. And thank you so much for taking the time and energy to truly stepping into your authenticity and being your US You.